our history with motion capture. Well, a few years ago, I think 2019 it was, that was the first time we had actually experimented with motion capture. It was with the Xsens suit. And well, after we got it in the studio, we were like, hey, what do we do? What is the purpose of this? Because in the past, motion capture for us, well, that was like, I guess, hooking up an Xbox Connect and trying to snag the mocap data from that. I mean, we were desperate to get data for bodies, for CG bodies in any way we could, because we're trying to always find shortcuts, workarounds, things that allow us as a small team of filmmakers, visual effects artists to get the coolest results with the least amount of effort and time. And I guess on that note, the funny thing is here is that in everything I'm going to be talking about today, actually using these Xsens suits is always the easiest and shortest and quickest part of the process. It's everything else that takes time and trial and error. Thankfully, these suits, they just work. No questions asked. Everything else, not so much. So in the past, let's take a look here. Well, where have we been? Well, when we first got our suit, I was like, hey, you know what would be cool? Let's design a live action video game where we convert our studio into a game environment, just like those Nickelodeon game shows. We've done everything from that to turn ourselves into Transformers, which was also fun. And then, well, turning ourselves into the Boston Dynamics robot is really what put us on the map when it comes to using this technology. But all that stuff we're seeing right now is pretty rudimentary compared to the challenge of trying to actually create a somewhat, I guess, dynamic virtual character. So about a year ago, last March, something pretty big happened. I don't know if you were aware. I had a daughter, and because of that, I had a lot of free time to spend at night learning how to play better video games. And in that time, I was like, wait a second, wait. There's this thing, I've been using Unity for a while, but Unreal Engine looks pretty sweet. There's some cool things about it. I like the interface, it renders neat. And I decided to dive in and learn it. And it just so happens that whole pandemic thing kind of kicked off at the same time. So the timing, as far as learning how to create a digital likeness of myself, animate it, all that stuff, well, it came in handy because we're all stuck at home and I'm trying to figure out how to make videos still, despite not having physical contact with people. Anyways, old news at this point. The point is, well, all right, that set me off on this huge journey here, learning Unreal Engine. And over the course of the last year, I think we've made about 5 pieces. I say virtual production, by the way, as a catch-all term for anything cinematic looking that uses Unreal Engine, not just green screens. I consider this a virtual production because I'm in a virtual space with a virtual character. That being said, so yeah, we made about 5 last year, and each one had their own issues, their own host of issues. And it's mostly because I'm approaching this highly technical subject like a filmmaker, where I'm just trying to create something with it, so to speak. And usually I'm putting that in front of troubleshooting all the technical issues that I've been facing. We've done everything from like VR experiences for people where I mocap myself into the VR world. We did a parody of our VFX artist React using video game characters, talking about, you know, the working industry of a video game character. And well, we continued that process all the way until about now. But the problem I was facing with each one was that they, yeah, as I said, they all have these own technical issues, and that's because there's a million ways to get from, you know, a moving skeleton in Xsens to your end destination. There's a million ways to do it, and there's not like a true, clear workflow for doing it. So every step of the way, we had to kind of invent a new part of the process. And with that, yeah, the invention, I guess, to troubleshoot it, well, it solved some issues, but it also creates more. Like, oh, hey, we got a body. You know, that's cool. Like in our Boston Dynamics video, there's no rigging. We just parented bits and bobs to the base skeletal animation. So like that was the level we were working at. But in order to get this stuff working, as you see here, we had to completely flip our worlds upside down, learn the actual ins and outs of skeletons, rigging, and all that stuff. So yeah, so where does that lead us? Well, yeah, so the mocap journey leads us to today, where I think actually, as you can see, kind of see right now for the first time, kind of looks put together. Now, granted, this is live. We're seeing a little bit of, frame drops. There's some latency here, but once you process it, it can look pretty dang good.